Good evening, Toastmasters. Welcome you to Allied Debaters Toastmaster Club. Club number 0480-8494, meeting number 51. I am Murli Manohar, your Sergeant at Arms. There are some ground rules. Now that you are at home, you know where is the exit and entry. But coming to the meeting, especially, you have to make sure that your device is it has got a very good network and it is fully charged. Refrain from side chats in the chat box, especially when the speaker is speaking. Kindly mute your mic and close your video. It's up to you if you want to see, otherwise keep it closed. Topics like sex, politics, and religion are prohibited in this part of the Toastmaster area. Our moderator will be our district director, DTM Wafa Salman. I will read out the club mission statement. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. May I also request all of you to put off your mobile also, and especially for the timer, please switch off your mobile because when you are timing it, if the mobile comes, it will be a disturbance. With this note, I hand over this to our young, energetic, the great, well-known person, president of Elite Toastmaster Club, Toastmaster Prince George.
Thank you, Mr. Murli. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Good evening.
Good
Thank
evening.
you. Thanks. It's good to see everybody here. It's good to have so many people. It's really interesting to see so many people all over coming in. Great. So regarding today's session, it seems like a very exciting session coming up. Is everyone excited?
Yeah.
For sure, yes.
Can you hear me?
We
Hello?
are.
Eagerly waiting.
Okay, fantastic. Sorry, I think the internet was not great. Okay, so regarding today's session, we have an exciting debate coming up. We have some seasoned debaters who are here with us, who are going to be exploring, some of them are going to be exploring debates for the first time. And it's an interesting topic and it's going to be a dynamic debate. I'm sure about that. Everyone's going to have some good fun. Before I get into the future course of action of this meeting, I want to spend a minute to recognize some heroes of our club. I'm sure everyone knows what I'm going to be talking about. So we have two people who represented our club at division level and who came out victorious. Can we have a round of applause for both of them? Toastmaster Gayatri and Toastmaster Anwar.
Congratulations, Anwar. Congratulations, Madam Gayatri.
Well done both. Toastmaster Gayatri has stood first in both the evaluation and table topics contest and stood second in the humorous contest. And Toastmaster Anwar stood first in the humorous contest and third in the evaluation contest. Well done, both Gayatri and Anwar. Fantastic job. You really make us proud. We're so happy to have you with us in our club. Great job. Kudos to both of you. Great. Now coming to the meeting. Before the meeting, I'm quite excited to say that we are doing really well as a club. I mean, and I'm really glad with the support that is extended by our club coach Anwar and a lot of others who are working hard, Vice President Gayatri, and a lot of others who are working very hard on this club. I can see a lot of things, a lot of changes, a lot of developments happening, which is very good for the club since we are an experienced club. Just a second, my son is. So this is what happens in the online meetings.
I can see this as a family meeting. Everybody is there.
Absolutely. Adam, son,
Mashallah,
and my son,
mashallah.
It's good.
kids.
But we are enjoying though.
Anyways,
really
I'll just
enjoying.
go ahead with the important things. One is that we have 15 members now, and we're expecting 5 more by the end of next month. So, which is something very strong for our club, and we look forward to that. And yeah, that's about our club. Sorry about the disturbance. It's just that he's a little cranky now,
We
and he's not
enjoyed it
letting
a
me
lot,
work.
friends.
So that's
Thank
how
you.
it's been.
No, we enjoyed
Anyways,
it.
I would, without any further ado, I would like to go ahead and hand over the podium to Wafa, who's going to go forward with the very exciting ceremony we have lined up, the induction ceremony. Wafa, it's all yours. Over to you.
Thank you, Prince. Let me share the agenda, and this is before the Toastmaster of the day, as per the agenda. Before the Toastmaster of the day take over, I will do the induction for the new members. Now, I want the new members video to be on, so, and who's our timer? So the timer can time me. Sham, can you time me, please? I need 10 minutes. So here there is 15, but I need 10 minutes. 5, 7, and 9.
Okay, thank you. I'm there.
Okay. So I will stop sharing, and I want the video of the new members. Please, the new members, we have Hamad Riza, right?
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Sham Sander.
Yes, please. Thank you.
And where are the other one? Anwar. Who are the other people?
Noor Muhammad is third person.
Okay. So we have Noor.
Yes. Now it's there.
Okay, now I have them. So we have Noor Muhammad. Super. Noor Muhammad. We had Riza Muhammad. I used to say Muhammad Riza. Sham
Yes.
Sander. And Suhan Monaf. So these 4 members, please make your video on, and I will start reading the protocol. Can you stop sharing the screen? Okay, so we can have the members shown there. Super.
DTM Wafa, DTM Noor has said that he does not have the camera at this moment to show. So we can go ahead with his audible responses.
It's okay, but he has to say, I do.
He will.
Okay. And I want to get Anwar and Gayatri, please, if there is anybody is outside, let them in, because I will be focusing on this segment.
Done.
Okay.
Hope you're not conducting a wedding, so I will not say I do for that.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters, it's now our duty and privilege. Let me put my video on. It's our duty and privilege to induct our 4 new members to Elite Debaters Club. This is an important occasion, both for the new members and for our club. These individuals have come to Toastmasters seeking to improve their communication and leadership skills. And now they have the opportunity, and we have the opportunity to help them learn, grow, and achieve. The new members, as I mentioned their name, they are there. And Noor, Hamad Riza, and Sham, and Suhan.
Yes.
You have applied for the membership for Toastmasters Elite Debaters. And now we are inducting you officially. We have, just a minute. You have to say the 10 promises, which is in Toastmasters International. I will share them with you, so you can read them while I'm reading them. And by that, we can be inducted officially.
Should we all say it out at the same time, or will it be separately?
I will say them, but you say them with yourself, like inside yourself. So we're not gonna
Okay.
have several points. Let me just share the screen so you know the promises. As a member of Toastmasters,
As a
you
member of
promise
Toastmasters,
to attend club meetings regularly,
to attend club meetings
to
regularly,
prepare all of projects of the best of your ability, basing them on Toastmaster education program,
Yes.
to prepare for or fulfill meeting assignments,
to prepare and
Yes.
fulfill meeting assignment. Yes.
to provide fellow members with helpful constructive evaluation,
Yes.
To provide fellow members with constructive, helpful evaluation. Yeah.
to help club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow,
To help club maintain friendly environment necessary for members to learn and grow.
to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so,
To serve my club as an officer when I'm called upon to do so.
to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy,
To treat, I do.
to bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefit of Toastmaster membership offers,
To bring the guests to club meetings and see the benefits of
to adhere to the guidelines and rule for all Toastmaster education and recognition program,
to adhere
to the guidelines.
Education
and the most important is the last, to act within Toastmasters core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. Super. After having this vow for you, will you do all these promises to the best of your ability?
I do.
Yes,
We do.
I will do.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. VP Education, did you assign mentors to these new members? Gayatri is here?
Gayatri is here, but I think she had some connection issues.
Okay. Definitely these members has been assigned.
The mentors, yes, they've been assigned mentors, yes.
So we need to know the mentors' names. Can we have them? Now our new members promise that they will do their job.
We have the mentors and the names.
Yes, you can read out the member's name. I can tell who's a mentor.
Noor Muhammad.
DTM Wafa Salman.
Okay. Sham.
Anwar Adam.
Suhan.
Prince George.
And Muhammad Reza.
It will be Noor Mohammed.
Okay, great. Now, dear mentors, Noor, Anwar, Prince, and Wafa, as an experienced Toastmasters, you have been asked to help these new members to get off to a good start. Do you accept this responsibility and pledge to share your knowledge and experience with the new member so they can immediately begin to benefit from the Toastmaster membership?
I do.
Yes.
I do.
Now, the last thing is for our club members. Our club members, these members, we promise to help them to do so as mentors. Now, club members, will you promise to help these members in improving their communication skills and leadership in debates as well? Members of the club.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will. So by now, I officially announce you as elite debaters members.
Yes, we will.
A big round of applause.
Super.
By that, I will return the control back to our president and he will give it to our MC, our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you,
Yes, we will.
Thank you so much for the information, for inducting our new members, and we're really glad to have these new members with us today. Thank you so much. Without further ado, I would like to give the podium back to the Toastmaster of the day. Please take over. Thank you.
The moderator for this evening's debate and the entire program will be DTM Murli Manohar. Please put your hands together and welcome him up onto the screen. DTM Murli Manohar. I think the network issue is going to be something to be worried about with him.
Okay, I'm admitting DTM Murli back. He's just come back. So just give it a second. He'll be back with us. Murli, are you here with us?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, Mr. Murli, can you go ahead with handling the event now? Back to you, Mr. Murli. Control is back to you. Please go ahead.
Okay. As I had informed earlier itself, if there is any technical fault, our district director will take over. She's agreed. Yeah. Welcome to our 51st meeting. Welcome to our 51st meeting. And for those people who are new to our activities, please note, generally Toastmaster meeting is made of 3 sections. There will be a prepared speech, then there will be a table topics, and there will be evaluation. But our club is an advanced club and exclusively for debate. We're going to have first a table topic session, then a full-fledged debate session, followed by the evaluation. For table topics, we have some role player. But before that, there are some people who are going to help me do this activity. We have the general evaluator, our district director, TTM Wafa Salman, who is going to be the general evaluator, and I request her to please brief about our role. Your mic is off, DTM Wafa.
Sorry. Thank you, moderator of the day and Toastmaster of the day. My role as general evaluator for tonight is to hold the the evaluation session and ask the evaluation and all the evaluators to say their reports. And I will have my session at the end of this meeting. Back to you. Murli?
Yes. Yes. Thank you. We have a person, I think, he has created a record by joining the Toastmaster and within few minutes taking over as a role player. We have our timer, who is Shyam Sundar, the new member, the rookie, the novice Toastmaster. Welcome to Toastmaster, and please explain your role as a timer.
Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. My name is Shyam. I'm your timer today, and I will note down the duration of your speech. The minimum and maximum time for debate session was already given on the agenda. The time for table topics is 1 to 2 minutes. Please pin my image on your screen and watch my background color. I will change my background color to green when you reach minimum time. I will change the color to red when you reach maximum time. Between minimum and maximum time, I will change the color to yellow. Thank you.
We really appreciate Shyam Sundar, Toastmaster Shyam Sundar, for beautiful explaining your role. And please note, for every session, for every speaker, there will be a 30 seconds grace period after read. Thank you. With this note, we are going to start our second online debate meeting. The theme of today's meeting is very simple, and before I come to that, I would also like to know from our people, is Ari Jafar there?
No, because of she's not keeping well, so she's not able to come. So Gayatri.
Okay, so we will have, I think Gayatri Ravindran has already volunteered to take over that role.
These were all backups, Teacher Murli.
Excellent, excellent, very nice. We have a very young, energetic, I won't call it women, a cavalier I would call, but who has achieved a pinnacle now by winning 2 categories in division and reaching to the DTAC. She is none other than the past area director, present VP Education, DTM, Gayatri Ravindran. Please, you are going to be taking over the table topics. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, DTM Murli. It's always wonderful to be present in all of Elite Debaters meetings, especially when it comes to debates. And my special affection has always been to, table topics, always, hands down. And when it comes to Elite Debaters table topic segment, ladies and gentlemen, it is not the usual segment that you are used to. Ours is an 180-degree, both sides, so 360 degrees, literally a topic session that we do. There is a topic which is given. Two members are chosen from the audience. One speaks for the topic, the other person speaks against the topic. That's the speciality of the table topic segment at Elite Debaters. Now, are you all ready for such a 360 degrees divided by 2 table topic segment where you will debate each other for 2 minutes? Are you ready? Show your thumbs up. Now, I'm not going to call all of the other debaters who are going to be debating already. I'm going to get people from the audience. I have already got in my target list a few people. Let me have a look at who all are there. I have a lot of people to choose from. As I read out the names, please let me know if you are okay with it. I have already decided you are all going to participate. You don't get to choose whether you will participate or not. You will only get to choose 2 things. Yes and yes. That's all you will do. And the other side, you can choose whether you will speak first set, second set, or the third set. That's all you can choose. So, not in any particular order. Toastmaster Quresh, Toastmaster Gino, I will not let you escape. Toastmaster Kajitan, Kaji, you are in this. And Toastmaster Hanan, our champion, Hanan. And Toastmaster Suhan, how can I let you off? And no, not Suhan.
You caught hold of all black ships.
Nitin, I see Toastmaster Nitin. And I can also see Toastmaster Siham. So shall I get her into this list or shall I look for somebody else? I think Hanan, Suhan. Yes, Siham?
I'm with you, my dear Gayatri. I'm with you.
Absolutely. What about Toastmaster Siham?
Well, I'm already speaking today.
I'm ready.
Yes, so we have 3 teams. We have 3 groups. Quresh versus Gino. Please make a note. Kajitan versus Hanan. Nitin versus Siham.
My God, you got me the most fierce opponent.
Nitish.
This is something I am looking forward to. All right. Hello? There was somebody speaking. I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yes, someone is speaking, but it wasn't clear.
All right.
I think Ram Kumar was speaking.
Okay. Toastmaster Ram Kumar, we will wait for you another time. But I know you always love to get into these table topics because you are very strong in your assertions. But I look forward to it. But my team is ready. My three people, my 6 speakers are ready, and I have 3 topics. You don't get to choose. I will give you the topic. With your wafa, with your permission, I would like to give the topic first and then let them debate it out. How is that?
You are the boss of this session, my dear.
Absolutely. I think I will do that. I should be a little kind. So I thought I will give the names first. I will give the topic first. Right. Are we ready? Toastmaster Quresh and Gino. A thumbs up, please. Absolutely. Right. Timer. Please note, this is the usual table topic segment. Can you explain quickly how you will do this?
Sure. The time duration for table topics is 1 to 2 minutes. The minimum time is 1 minute. When you meet your minimum time, I will change my background color to green. And when you meet maximum time, when you reach your maximum time, I will change my background color to red. Between minimum and maximum time, at 1.5 minutes, I will change my background color to yellow. Please pin my image onto your screen.
Are we done, timer?
Yes, yes, thank you.
Thank you. 1 to 2 minutes with 30 seconds of grace period. At 1 minute, it's green. 1.5 minutes, it's yellow. As he said, 2 minutes, it's red, and it continues. But here, there is a little difference. The moment 2 minutes come and the red light shows, people will start clapping. You had exactly 2 minutes, right? Great. Now, Toastmaster Quresh and Toastmaster Gino. Please, Quresh, you will speak for. Toastmaster Gino, you will speak against this topic. All people should be vegetarians. All people should be vegetarians. Toastmaster Quresh will speak for, and after that, Toastmaster Gino will speak against the statement, all people should be vegetarians. Timer, please start when the first speaker speaks. Toastmaster Quresh, the floor is yours.
I think by giving this topic to me, it is already known that I am not speaking for, but I am speaking against to what my will says. Being a Muslim and being a non-vegetarian to the core, I think it's a very difficult thing to speak about being vegetarian all life. But since the topic is given to me and I'm supposed to speak for vegetarian, I wouldn't say that it's really a bad thing to be a vegetarian all life. Only when we say that I am a lover of, or anybody is a lover of non-veg or meat, at the same time, vegetarian has its own advantages forever. If you talk about green leafy vegetables and if you talk about meaty vegetables, I mean, there is always a way that vegetables can take place, can replace the meat. The other day, I was watching a video on Facebook where they were making steak out of cabbage. So it's not impossible, or it is not difficult for anybody to accept eating vegetarian for the rest of their life. And if you go and see the benefits of vegetables, they are far, far more better than being a non-vegetarian. The bigger problem with non-vegetarian is eaten it, you have cut it properly, and you have cooked it properly. So there are a lot of disadvantages or a lot of shortcomings, shortfalls in meat compared to vegetable. And I'm sure I cannot write down the benefits that we have of vegetables that are so good. You talk about oxygen, you talk about proteins, you talk about vitamins, you talk about carbohydrates, you talk about n number of things that are good in vegetables, in green leafy vegetables, which are really beneficial to your body, to your mind, to your heart. And I think turning on vegetable is absolutely acceptable. So even in future, if there is a chance that I have to turn vegetarian, I will do it, hands down. Thank you, and back to Gayatri.
Wonderful. Let's give him a big round of applause. Excellent. Toastmaster Gino?
Should I start?
Yes, Toastmaster Gino. Your topic one more time. All people should be vegetarians. Against. Over to you.
Look around my house and I think you all can see my house is like a garden. Okay, I presume you can see. My 5th grader comes to me and said, Daddy, this is the time for you to teach me. I said, what is it? Science. He opens the book and says, oxygen. I said, yes, oxygen. From where do we get oxygen? I said, we get oxygen from these plants. Really? And Mama comes and tells, Alvin tells, Mama, you should cook non-veg tomorrow. Mama says, no, darling, we are trying to go vegan. Okay, we're trying to go vegetarian. He says, why? Because we have to save the plants. And then what did Alvin say? What did Alvin say? Mama, we need the plants. We need the plants, right? We need to save the plants. That means we shouldn't be eating green. We should be going non-veg. So my urge to y'all is, we always look at the other side. We need to save animals. Animals can reproduce. Animals can go on reproducing in any environment. Plants, difficult. Plants need nature. So my urge to you all is, please don't go gaga about go green. I mean, don't cut down the trees. So do not cut down the trees. Go eat non-veg, eat chicken, eat beef, eat mutton every day, because those animals can go about reproducing, and make sure that you save this greenery in your homes, in your garden, in the park. It's the only way that we can live, because we cannot live without oxygen. And this is what I told my children. We cannot live without oxygen. We have to breathe. And the oxygen comes from the plants. And the carbon dioxide that we give out, they are the ones who change it to oxygen. So let's stop this, don't kill animals. I would say don't kill plants. Kill animals. Because plants can reproduce by themselves. Animals can reproduce by themselves. Plant can't, because that's it. Over to you. I hope I didn't confuse everybody.
No, I think you were quite clear. Well done. And that was an ingenious argument. I really
When Gino started, I thought he was speaking for vegetarians, but then slowly he turned around.
Excellent.
Moral of the story, plant can't.
That's a good one. I will make a note.
Yeah, but when you talk about school, Gayatri, if you talk about school days, the first thing that is taught in a science textbook is plants are living things.
Absolutely. Well, that's something that you and Gino can argue in a different place. But let's get along. Let's move along with our next topic. And responding to what Toastmaster Alan has asked, no, there's no cross-examination for table topics. They are saved for some time. When they become members of our club, they will automatically come into the debating and they will automatically get cross-examined. So don't worry. Let's just wait. Now, before I go to the next topic, I have a request for our audience. Toastmaster Nitin has had some other work and so he left. So if Toastmaster Vermeet or Toastmaster Sanjana or anyone else who would like to participate, if you could just raise your hand. And Anwar, if you could tell me who has raised the hand, I could choose one person.
We've got DTM Ram also with us here.
I know. Now, who is... Right. As of now, I don't see anybody.
Excuse me?
Sorry?
Yeah, Sanjana.
Sanjana, you're ready? Thank you. You will be the third set of table topic speakers.
Okay.
Right. Now, Let's move to the second topic. Are we ready? Toastmaster Kajitan and Toastmaster Hanan. Toastmaster Hanan has requested that she will be only heard, and I have agreed and I have accepted. Toastmaster Kaji and Toastmaster Hanan, your topic is, all people should have the right to own guns. All people should have the right to own guns. Kajitan, you will speak for it. Would you like to speak against or for?
I can speak either, no problem.
Right. So Kajitan, I will let you speak for, and Hanan, I would like you to speak against. I'll repeat the topic. All people should have the right to own guns. The floor is yours, Toastmaster Kajitan.
Good afternoon, elite debaters. This is my first meeting, and I'm trying to understand what is all this debates about, because debate is not something that I like. I either believe in something and I will speak for it. Now, guns. I'm a big proponent of the First Amendment of the US, First or Second Amendment, I guess, the right to hold arms, the right to own arms. And why is that? Because, again, I'm a big lover of Westerns, you know, in the olden times, how they used to conquer the West and all these cowboys going and shooting. All this was possible because of guns. Today, you would not have America, you wouldn't have the democracy as we know it. We probably would have a different kind of government if the West was not conquered using guns by the cowboys. And I love it. I would love to have guns, keep them around, do target practice, and keep my family safe in case of emergency. That's the main thing, to keep us safe. Guns, not for violence, but for protection, self-defense. So yes, I say everyone should have a right to own guns. Everyone should have a right to defend themselves when the time comes. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kaji. That was good. Now let's hear what Toastmaster Hanan has to say, because she will speak against people owning guns. Toastmaster Hanan, the screen is yours.
Hi, good afternoon to all. True, owning a gun is alluring. It's a sign of power. But what is the guarantee that it will be in safe hands? I mean, men, what a guarantee would I have as a woman in the rush of adrenaline that you will be shooting at me? Because again, when the rush of adrenaline is there, there is no space of your mind. Women, we don't know how to handle any technical stuff. I mean, I convince. I mean, come on, I cannot even handle my mobile. How do you expect me to handle a gun? So guns should be only allowed for people who are specialized. It shouldn't be in the hands of anybody. I'm sure you have heard all around the world in which a teenager targets his colleagues and his friends, and everybody is left sad and terrified because of this incident. A gun, I don't think it was the heritage of cowboys. It didn't create the current America. A gun might have terrified others in the old ages, but it didn't create our new world. Our new world was created because we were wise, because we are powerful using our minds, not using our guns. So surely, I'm totally against using the guns, because the guns in the wrong hands are so deadly. Even it can be deadly to the same person using the gun, because again, you can always shoot yourself. You can always shoot one of your family members. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Wonderful. Very well done, Toastmaster Kaji and Toastmaster Hanan. Now the third set of our table topic speakers. Are we ready? Toastmaster Sanjana and Toastmaster
Yes.
Yes, we are ready.
Do you want? Here, I'm a nice person. I'm a very nice girl. I would like to give you a choice. You want something very serious or you want something very light?
I like in between.
All right.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
That was a googly, that was a bouncer. All right, I will choose something which is in the middle, Shway.
Okay.
Toastmaster Sanjana will speak for and Toastmaster Siham will speak against.
Okay.
Parents should scold their children. Parents should scold their children. Toastmaster Sanjana, you will speak for. And Toastmaster Siham, you will speak against. Parents should scold their children. Toastmaster Sanjana, you have 2 minutes now.
Yeah. Yes, parents should scold their children. As after 10 years, now I am being a mother of a child, my son. I thought I will never scold him as I got my baby after 10 years. But suddenly, when I was see so many ups and downs in my baby, when I thought, no, he is not going in proper way. He saw so many tantrums. Then I thought, no, I have to be very active in all the activities what he is doing. So I scolded when he is not doing well, when he is doing so many negative things in front of myself. When I saw so many things, that is not okay. So now I am now being a mother, but when I am thinking about my parents, they were of course scolded me. They always try to learn us everything so that we can move in the world. We can compete with all the people we can come in connection. So we should always fight with those. So I think parents should scold their children for good, not for bad things. We should respect our parents when they scold, but to beat, of course, it is not good. So we should always teach them the good things, not the bad things. Thank you.
Very well done, Toastmaster Sanjana.
Thank
We've heard
you.
you for the first time at Really Debaters. Very happy to hear you. Yes, Toastmaster Siham, are you ready?
I am. Good
Your time
evening,
starts
everyone.
now.
Yeah, okay. Good evening, debaters. Hope you all are doing well. School children, parents, school children. Actually, I don't know. My nature is always to go against the rules. I like to break rules. I don't like to feel that I don't know, I see it as schooling children as if I am prisoning them. I am putting them in a place and say, you are going to live according to some rules. You are not free to do whatever you like. Yes, okay, children need to have regulations, but not in a place like a prison. For me, for example, as a mother, all my kids hate schools. So what does it mean? It means that they don't like schooling. Yes, they can learn behavior or controlling or whatever we can say good behaviors. But also I can teach them this through a lot of any or many other education. As you can see, we can now learn through distance. So it is not necessary to get them to the school to make them good or behave well. It's a large and a huge responsibility to do that. But I can do it not only by schooling my children, because I feel that sometimes it can, we can say, listen their imagination. It can give them the freedom to be at their nature and they give whatever they like, to imagine the world in a different way. Why can't we try not to school them in order to get creative, more creative people, not the regular one? Over to you.
Very well said, Toastmaster Siham. Those were good arguments. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of our special 360 degrees table topic segment. Before I wind up and hand over to the moderator, Toastmaster Anwar, could we please have our polls? We need to choose the best table topic speaker. So let's choose. Who was the person who spoke the best? Timer, has everyone qualified?
Yes, please. Everybody qualified.
Thank you. So we have the list in front.
Yes, it is there. People can vote.
Voting will close in the next 10 seconds.
Just to remind, co-host and host cannot vote.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your voting. We will know the results and the president will announce at the end. Now it's my pleasurable duty to hand over the entire proceeding to our moderator, and I'm looking forward to the debate that's coming up next. DTM Murli Manohar, the screen is yours. Over to you.
Thank you very much, DTM Gayatri. Friends, we are all waiting for that moment. That is the debate session. The theme of the day, I forgot to tell you, was the be safe and stay home. And the debate is a suitable topic has been chosen for this. For this, we have two teams. One is affirmative, led by none other than the young, energetic, past district public relation manager, DTM Nasima Khan. And she has a team of people along with her, Toastmaster Riza Muhammad, a new member who has joined today, as well as Colonel Sanders Alias, Area Director Alan Paul. DTM Nasima Khan will be the captain of this team, and to debate against her, we have a negative team led by none other than District 20s, one of the most energetic, proactive club growth director, DTM Alka Kumra. She will be supported by our teammates, the great man, a person who is there to support anybody for any club, Toastmaster Suhan Munaf, and ably supported by another Toastmaster, Toastmaster Binoy Sebastian. The best part I would like to say is these three people, they come almost from Dura Toastmaster Club. Of course, even Suhan is part of Desert Pioneers, but the other team is like a proxy desert pioneers. With this note, I would love to tell you the topic is online learning can replace classroom learning. Timer, please note the captain, when they speak in their main speech, they will be having 4-minute time. That is 3 minutes green, 3.5 minutes yellow, 4 minutes red. Immediately followed by cross-examination of 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, there will be no grace period. The timer will say the time up, and then whoever is the person, he has to start speaking, giving his constructive points. Other than the captain, the second and third speaker in each team will be given 2 minutes to 3 minutes. So after 2 minutes, you will have green. At 2.5 minutes, you will have yellow. And at 3 minutes, you will have red. And there will be no grace period here. Here also, the time is up. It's only this period. Toastmaster, let me also tell you, I've informed all the people, the people who are participating in the debate. This is also going to be my project called How Do I Moderate a Speech? So my speech or my moderation will be evaluated by none other than DTM Gayatri Ravindran. With this note, I would love to give the podium to the captain of affirmative team, DTM Nasima Khan.
Thank you, moderator, and a warm good evening to all of you.
Nasima Khan, over to you.
Thank you, moderator, and a lovely good evening to all of you. Today, the topic for our debate is online learning can replace classroom learning. And the terms that we both team agreed on are online, connected to a computer and internet, learning, the acquisition of knowledge or skills through study, experience, or being taught. Replace, take the place of classroom. A classroom is a physical learning space in which both children and adults learn. My team will cover the points: how online helps the education demand for online learning, bullying and abuses that take place in the physical classroom, flexibility, retention rate, time investment, and greener option will be covered by me. Ladies and gentlemen, isn't it ironical that we are debating online and still we have to prove that online learning is better, can replace classroom learning? Anyway, Business Insider published in 2017, while educational models of the past focuses on providing students with requisite skills, the educators of today are concerned with teaching students how to learn on their own by themselves. Affirmative team outrightly believes that online learning can replace classroom learning because student learns more online than do in traditional classroom. IBM have found that in their sales study that students learn 5 times more in online than in classroom because online courses give students full control on their own learning. Students are able to work at their own speed. Different students have different capacity, time frame to comprehend the teaching. With online students can learn on their own space. IBM also says that online students work faster than the classroom students and take in more information. Retention rates are higher for online learning students. Many offline courses struggle to retain students throughout the length of the courses. The Research Institute of America for Worldwide Online Survey have found that this is not the case in online learning. Rather, online learning courses have increased student retention rate from 25% to 60%. Online learning requires less investment of time. Many students are enrolling in classroom, are stopping themselves due to the time investment required for the future, time required. This is generally involves the time that they spend on going back and forth to the classes, waiting for teachers and students. And as per Melbourne School report on online learning, that says online learning typically requires 40 to 60% less student time than learning in traditional
नहीं
classroom.
दिखा रहा है, पता नहीं क्या हो गया इसको। क्या हो,
Online
मेरा बच्चा
learning
भूख
is
लगी है, जब पापा
is
पापा
also the greener option. Online learning is certainly the more effective option for students, but it is also for the environment. United Nations Environment Program found that online courses equate to an average of 90% less energy and 85% fewer emission of carbon dioxide per student than traditional classroom learning. This certainly makes online learning not only effective method, but a tool to reduce the worldwide problem of global warming. At the beginning of lockdown, we were little skeptical about online learning, but eventually now we all are comfortable learning online, and therefore affirmative team believes that online learning can replace classroom learning. Over to you, moderator.
Great. This is a beautiful challenge being thrown to none other than our negative team captain. Our negative team captain, you have 3 to 4 minutes, but before I leave it to her, please, I request all the participants, all the viewers, please switch off your mic, put it on the mute it, so that we can have a clear speech from our speakers. DTM Alka Kumra, the captain of the negative team. Over to you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear worthy opponent, Nasima.
Good evening.
A great speech from you, but doesn't have much matter in it. Let me ask you one thing. You said students learn 5 times more online. How? How can you say 5 times more? What is the 5 times quantity? How can you quantify that?
That's not my study. I have not calculated. It is a study done by professionals who are experts in getting figures analysis, and that was done by IBM. It's a hardware company that does such surveys, such calculations, such analysis on timely basis. So they are saying
hardware companies will be are the most reliable sources for this. Anyway, going to the next question. You also mentioned that the retention rates are higher, and we are debating online today about this. Do you know the membership retention in our district or all over the world in Toastmasters? Coming to the Toastmasters online learning, do you know the membership has gone down drastically and all Toastmasters are asking for various things, reduction in fees and reduction in targets and all that to overcome this challenge? Do you know that so many of the members are saying we don't want to become members because we are online, we don't want online meetings?
I happily disagree with your question. The reason of reduction in membership is not because of learning medium. It's because people are losing their job. Their salary is deducted. This is my personal example. This is their reduction in the membership.
Thank you. We will now give it to our negative captain to give our constructive speech. The time is 3 to 4 minutes now.
Touch is the first language we speak, says Stephen Gaskin. And also Margaret Atwood says, touch comes before sight, even before speech. It is the first language and the last, and it always tells the truth. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and my worthy opponents. In her class 6, my daughter was taught in class the principle of refraction, but she could not understand. When I spoke to the teacher, she told me, unfortunately, the school labs are not functional at that point of time. I suggested to her to bring a prism to the class to explain. 2 days later, my daughter came back home happily, saying she understood the principle of refraction as she had actually seen and handled the prism in class and calculated the angle of refraction. This is the power of touch and feel that is available in classroom style learning. Diane Ackerman says, nothing is more memorable than a smell. I still remember the smells in my school chemistry lab, where I learned to distinguish the smell of ester that of hydrochloric acid, and many other things. Haven't you been through all that? Now, these are only two of the various reasons that our team believes online learning cannot replace classroom learning. As we all know, humans have 5 basic senses: touch, sight, hearing, smell, and taste. While we use all these 5 senses in classroom learning, we use only 2 of them, sight and hearing, in online learning. During the next couple of minutes, I'll be talking about various other reasons as to why classroom is the preferred choice of a majority of learners. My first teammate, Suhan, will speak about what makes online learning less attractive for learners. And my second teammate, Binoy, will back up all our reasons with facts and statistics. Now, coming to my third reason why classroom is the preferred choice of learning is it's more organized. You do not have to worry about setting up your own schedule of learning. The institute, the school, the school or the college will give you a timetable with your class dates and times. Also, you can get your questions answered and feedback on your assignments and exams in real time. There is no long waiting period. Which brings us to my next reason why classroom learning is preferred. Classroom learning is interactive. It has been in existence from ancient times and has survived eras of time. According to Ray Williams, who writes in Psychology Today, he says human interaction is very important to one's life and is one of the human characteristics that distinguishes us from the rest of the living beings, because man is a social animal. And that brings me to my next argument for classroom learning, which is motivation. Motivation can come only through dynamic relationship that is shared between a student and a teacher, the rapport that is built between a student and a fellow student. And this leads to the richness of learning experience that may be lost completely or may be minimized when learning is undertaken or from a distance or virtual format. And that brings me to the last reason that I feel, which is not less than any other reasons, interpersonal social skills. Face-to-face communication allows the entire experience to not only be heard, but also felt. And also the importance of a response cannot be denied, which is very important for us. To conclude, there is no doubt that digital education is valuable, but only as an enhancement to regular learning, or for those who cannot be in classrooms due to lack of time or any other valid reason. By actively seeing a trainer or a teacher convey passion about a topic, it ignites the same passion in a student. And
thank you very much, captain of the negative team, DTM Al-Kakumra. Thank you. We have Toastmaster Riza Muhammad, who has just been inducted into the LA Debaters Club as a member. Now, you have 2 minutes to contract with our negative team captain. Over to Toastmaster Riza Muhammad.
Fellow Toastmasters and my worthy opponent, DTM Al-Kakumra, you have wonderfully crafted your speech, but that's the end of it. The speech was excellent, but the points were totally hollow. The first point that you made was, can't touch be at home. You gave a phrase that the touch is really important. Can't touch be at home.
From a teacher, how can the touch be at home from a teacher? Will you buy all the...
There is no need.
You cannot buy all the lab equipment at home. You need to be in a chemistry lab, school lab, biology lab to experience all that. You cannot do it at home.
There are several ways that things can be simulated, and that is the future. Just like how fearful were you 15 years back when cell phones were introduced. You said most of the world said it's not possible. We are moving.
Is that a question? I'm waiting.
It is an answer. Okay, let me go ahead. The third point that you mentioned, that classroom
Your time is
organized
up.
and the
Green card has
students
come.
don't have to students don't have to do anything. The same thing can be emulated in online as well, just like how we are conducting a Toastmasters meeting.
I'm waiting for a question. I don't want to speak from you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Riza. Your time for cross-examination is up. Now you can give your constructive speech. Your time, 2 to 3 minutes.
Fair enough.
Tom, start the timing again.
Yeah. Are we ready now?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. Classroom, there are huge benefits of online schooling. One of the biggest benefits of online schooling or learning is near isolation from a phenomenon called bullying. Bullying is strong preying upon the weak. It can be a physical advantage or a social advantage. It can be one student or many. It often takes the form of threats, intimidation, and cruelty, or forcing against his or her will to do what the strong one wants. And this is commonly seen in classrooms. A student is first introduced to bullying in school. In a study conducted by the US Department of Education in 2015, 28% of all students experienced bullying. This is a pandemic which has been ignored, and a lot of adults who become the victims go on suffering throughout their entire life. Children who are bullied can experience negative physical and mental health issues, anxiety, depression, increased feeling of sadness and loneliness as well. The speech of Darren Tays, who was the 2016 world champion, was about how he overcame the effects of bullying. Darren was strong, he fought back and succeeded, but the majority of the victims are unsuccessful and go through several of major issues, and some even turn out to be criminals. Now, in America, there have been a large amounts of school shootings. 75% of the people who kill school children had been bullied or have left behind some kind of evidence of having been victims of being bullied. The second major problem of traditional schooling is drug and alcohol abuse. These are important problems that affect the school age, at school youth at earlier ages. Young people frequently begin to experiment with alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs, especially in high school, and a small number of them even in elementary school. By the time students are in high school, rates of substance use are remarkably high. According to a national survey data, about 1 in 3 12th standard students have reportedly been drinking or having marijuana. And marijuana is the most commonly used drug in high school students.
Thank you
and
very
open
much,
the doors.
Mr. Mohammad
And
Riza.
now all of these are directly related to
Please.
conventional schooling.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. We have Toastmaster Suhan, who is eagerly waiting to cross-examining you. Over to Toastmaster Suhan. You have 2 minutes totally to cross-examine Toastmaster Mohammad Riza. Over to Suhan Manaf.
Yeah. Thank you, moderator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and good evening to my worthy opponent, Reza. You just mentioned about bullying, right? You think that I'm not bullied? Even I was bullied when I was in my school. But even though I still, you
just answered your own question.
That, I'm supposed to be rough and tough during this real-time world. You think in the online people will not get, they'll not get bullied? They will get bullied there also.
You
There's
just
something
answered
called
your same.
cyberbullying. Have you heard
You
of
just
that?
answered your question there. by admitting that you were yourself a victim of
And
bullying,
also,
highlighting
there is
the problem that
and also
this
you
is
have
a
talked
very
about,
common problem.
people are doing mass shootings. Even online, people are doing, some murders. That through a game called Blue Whale.
I
There's
have
a recent
not
news
heard
that
about
has happened like
online
that, and,
mass
people have
shootings ever.
committed suicide over there. And as if
Or
you're talking about this thing is,
can I
work. And
answer
then,
your points, please?
and also,
Time is up. The time is up. Please cooperate. Please cooperate. Toastmaster Suhan Abdul Munaf, you have 2 to 3 minutes to give your constructive speech. Sham, time to start again. Restart. Reset.
Okay. Okay. Benjamin Franklin once quoted, "Learning is an investment in knowledge that pays best interest." Moderator, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear friends, my resolution is online learning cannot replace classroom learning. Let me quote our Ralph Medley. He said, "We learn at moment of fun. Fun happens when we meet people and we interact with them. Most importantly, we learn and enhance our knowledge." Do this will happen online? No. I don't like online learning. The reason as follows. Mostly, we face technical failures most of the time. In these instances, we get miscommunication or misinterpretation. And as compared to traditional learning, we get to see face to face. In online learning, the interaction is very limited, but in classroom, it is abundant. There are health issues in regards to online learning. You know what it is? The more we look at our screen time, our eye blindness will increase. And the online course that is only reduced to only learning. It's like reading a book on the computer, and there's no value-add service you'll get over there too. And most importantly, there is no transparency at all. What if you're dealing with a lecture online, and what is that guarantee or genuinity that you have that that student is following you? What if he's playing video games online and he or she is watching Netflix that time? And the people they've made the cost effectiveness on virtual learning because they answered this too cheap. But will you really get that value of learning? There's hereby attend and speech processor. Moreover, when we have more interaction, more we learn. So that's why I support that online learning cannot replace traditional classroom learning. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Suhan Abdul Munaf. We have Junior Colonel Sanders. Toastmaster Alan Paul, you have 2 minutes to cross-examine Toastmaster Suhan. Over to you.
Thank you. Good evening, guests and my worthy opponents. I like the quotes you mentioned by Benjamin Franklin and Ralph Medley, by the way. Beautiful quotes. And by the way, do you think they were present when online learning was there?
No.
No, they were not present. And if Ralph Medley was present today, do you think that he will not allow pathways?
Well, he wouldn't allow pathways, but what I'm
he
saying
wouldn't
is
allow
you want to
pathways.
learn by interaction,
Really?
not
Come
by
on, pathways
online.
belong to the organization that he founded, and we are all using it to this day. So what makes you
Well,
think he
this is
will
the
allow pathways?
platform we are using. We are not using the learning aspect of it.
Well, we are online now, aren't we?
Don't need
We
to
are
have an
still having
evaluation there. So
right now.
I hope I answered your question there.
No, you didn't. You didn't answer the question. We are having an online meeting right now through the materials.
Yeah.
Don't you
We are
think
using the
learning?
platform, not the
having an interaction?
not learning. Using
Anyways,
the platform. Digitization.
And you also mentioned about video games. Don't you think parents are responsible for what video
time
games
is
are
up.
providing?
Alan, thank you. Your time is up.
Green signal. I still have
think my answers
No. Green signal means over. Okay. You have to now start your constructive speech now. 2 to 3 minutes. That was the cross-examination.
Oh, okay. All right.
Over to Toastmaster Alan to give your constructive speech on your topic.
Thank you, DTM Murali. See, in today's age and time, we see an increasing number of applicants to educational institutions. And the problem is that these institutions can't increase the admission at the rate to meet the demand. So they resort to massive classes. One classroom can have up to 700 different students with different backgrounds.
Please go ahead, Toastmaster.
Expect them to study the same exact materials at the same time. And there comes a point where the students have a learning breakdown and the student doesn't understand what's going on after that. And they carry this misunderstanding for the rest of the class. See, education is like an iceberg with physical classroom lectures as a visible part of the iceberg, where students are exposed to a wide variety of information, but not exactly deep diving into anything. And the core pieces of learning go behind the scenes, where the student tries to understand the materials, do problems, and there'll always be breakdowns where they cannot go past certain questions. And only if they address those questions, they can proceed with the rest of the learning. So the physical classrooms can only address the tip of the iceberg, but the place where the teacher would be most needed is behind the scenes when the students are having these breakdowns. Now, technology can help remedy this situation. Throughout history, we had a good number of technological replacements, some app or tool to enhance your life. And this is where online learning comes into the picture. With online learning, we have pre-recorded videos by the teachers, and when there comes a breakdown, the student can ask the teacher about this breakdown and learn about it at their own pace by pausing, rewinding, and seeing it again, instead of disturbing the teacher to pause or to repeat. This has triggered an online learning revolution. Over the past few years, we had an outsurge of different platforms like Udemy, Coursera, Khan Academy, EDX, where people can create and learn courses on. Some of these platforms are non-profit organizations that make education free around the world. Universities like Harvard and MIT have actually started online courses. Online learning is the future. Unlike what my worthy opponent mentioned, you can still motivate your students. You can have a rapport with the students. You don't need to touch the students for them to learn. My opponent also mentioned about the assignments being done fast. Now, we all know that this is not true. It takes ages for assignments to be done. Whereas in online, it is instant. And this also gives teachers insights and save them time in order for them to excel and be the true professionals that they are. Red card.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alan. I think DTM Murali is facing some technical issues.
Can I still
We
go
will
on?
move on for your cross-examination. I would like to invite Toastmaster Binoy.
I am here, my friend, I am here.
Okay.
So Toastmaster Binoy Sebastian, you have 2 minutes to cross-examine Toastmaster Alan Paul. Over to you.
Thank you, moderator, and my teammates and fellow Toastmasters, and especially a special good evening to my worthy opponent.
Good evening.
Toastmaster Alan, your speech was excellent, flawless, but it is not striking with contents.
With contents, like example?
Example, you said physical learning is only a tip of the iceberg.
Exactly.
Right? Now let me ask you some of the professions, key professions in the world, like for example, a doctor or engineer.
Okay.
Would you be confident enough to go and lie in front of a surgeon who's learn things online?
Toastmaster Binoy, have you heard of artificial intelligence?
Definitely. I'm just answer to my question. Don't ask me a question.
No, this is artificial intelligence. So I'm saying yes. In
So
the future, the doctors
so you're-
can
what-
really do this. Instead of performing on live people and making mistakes,
Alan,
artificial can help
Alan, my
somebody
question, sorry
in
to
situation.
interrupt. My question was, would you be confident enough to go as a patient and lie in
Exactly,
front
yes.
of a
I
You
already
will be.
mentioned this. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
Binoy.
much. I leave it to
That
the
is what
audience.
artificial intelligence is all
Binoy,
about.
thank you.
I leave it to the audience.
Okay, thank you, Alan.
You're
Binoy.
talking about online swimming.
Very good, very good, very good.
Talking
Binoy,
about learning swimming online. Okay,
thank
fine.
you, Binoy. Binoy, you have now 2 to 3 minutes to give your constructive speech. Timer, restart. Yes. Thank you.
Thank
Over
you
to
very
you.
much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Very good evening once again to everyone. If we were in a real place, not online, I would have asked this question. How many of you are teachers here? And I could have seen so many hands raising up. But right now, I can only see the moderator's hand up. I am not visible to the rest. I don't know. I have no clue how many more of you are teachers. So you are only seeing a tip of the iceberg. Let me say it that way. Well, if you're a teacher, you can be happy enough. Why I'm saying this? See, anxiety about losing your job to technology is a real factor. It's a growing fear all over the world. But if you're a teacher, need not worry. A famous study conducted by the most famous University of Oxford that looked at over 700 different areas of work states that of all the jobs, a teacher's job is the most safest. Why is it so? Because online learning has its limitations. A study conducted at Seattle University states when online learning started, basically in the year 2000, it was existing before also. At 2000, there was 7% of people who opted for learning online. Over the years, it shot up drastically. But from 2000 to 2015, it's reached from 7 to 25%. From 2015 to 2020, it has reached from 25 to 30%, which means it is coming to a stagnation. It has reached a saturation point. It can only enhance and be a subsidiary to a classroom learning. With all my respect to the teachers, especially here, and the students, every teacher was once a student. Have you not scored better marks for the same subject with better teachers, where the contents were all the same? What was the difference? Because the teacher was there to mold you, to shape you, to guide you, to facilitate you. Every person, there's a saying, is part the DNA, part we learn as a child, and part the unknown. And the main part of a person in character building, behavior building, and end of it, making him a human, is what he learns as a child. And who is the key person who shapes you? It's the age from 5 to 15. Teachers are your gods.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Binoy Sebastian. Thank you.
Is it my time is up?
Yes, your time is up.
I don't have any seconds more.
No, thank you. And we appreciate your points. I am going to give this floor to DTM Nasima Khan, who is the captain of the affirmative team, to cross-examine you for 2 minutes.
All right.
DTM Nasima, over to you.
Thank you, moderator. And good evening, Toastmaster Binoy. Thank you for
Hi,
that
Nasima.
speech.
How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. So I have a couple of questions for you on your speech.
Sure.
You said your teachers were motivating you, guiding you, right?
Perfect.
And how many students approx you must be having in one class? Approx, if you remember.
Say around 30 students.
30 students. As long as I remember, my class had a 50-52. But anyway, did your teacher came to your house to motivate? Because in that 4 to 5 hours, I have never seen teacher going to the student to motivate each and every student to motivate them. It could be only possible if teachers are going every day to each student's home. Because as per the studies, parents are the key motivator of a student, not the teachers. In spite
I'm sorry to disagree with you, ma'am, because it's not necessarily a teacher has to come to home to motivate a student. A teacher is having the
you
overall
answered
view
my
of the
question.
classroom.
It's my time to ask a question, please.
Yeah, I don't know. I can answer also, right?
Yeah, you answered, but it's my time to ask question.
I mean, it's not
On which
necessarily a teacher has to
reference
come
you
to.
have said that? What was the reference you gave that internet started from so and so year? What's your reference?
It's www.bestcolleges.com.
There
You
is
can
no-
search. You can search online. There's a study by Oxford University and Illinois University.
Okay.
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 And
Accepted.
and there's one more Seattle University which says 34% of dropouts
Okay,
online
okay,
against 26%.
okay.
Yeah.
It's my time to ask you another question. But as per the studies of United Nation of Internet Association, the internet began in 1991, and it was. You can also go and state that. Here I can say that. Please, moderator, listen. This stats it's incorrect. Internet started in 1991.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
I
all
never
of
said
you.
internet
Thank
started
you.
in 2000.
Please
I said
cooperate. Please
online-
cooperate.
Yeah.
Please cooperate. Thank you
Sure,
very
sure.
much. We have the captain of affirmative team who is going to summarize our speech for next 3 minutes, 2, 2.5, 3. Over to the timer and over to DTM Nasima Khan to summarize affirmative speech.
Thank you, moderator. And once again, good evening to my worthy opponent. I feel little sad that very basic thing my opponent cannot understand. That to understand, to learn, in our definition, we mentioned that learning is about acquiring the knowledge skills. It doesn't matter where you are, whether it's a classroom, 4 wall, 1 roof, it doesn't matter. You need to learn. You need to make yourself knowledgeable through a tool. And the most convenient, effective tool is right now online. And that I have and my team already accepted by giving stats, references, not like talking in the air. None of the team, my opponent team members gave stats, any studies to validate their points. You and I can talk in the air. We have so many stories. How we can prove that they are right? They had 7 points. None of the points were valid by their studies, research, and we spoke on 9 points. None of the team members rebutted on that. In fact, one did and accepted that bully is possible. Even he was the victim of bully, which is happened. Right now, it's happening in classrooms learning. Abuses was spoken about my team member. No one rebutted that. Learn more in online learning. We had a retention rates more. On a time investment, we can save lots of time. No one can rebuttal that. Rebuttal doesn't mean talking in the air, giving quotes who died 50 years ago when the internet was not even there. Give us the study which was recent after the online study came in working. So I thoroughly, strongly, outrightly believe that online learning can replace classroom learning.
No way.
Thank you. Let me welcome our negative team captain, DTM Alka Kumara, to summarize the speech of the negative team. Over to you, DTM Alka Kumara.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine learning the nuances of athletics online? Do you think a five-star hotel will employ a chef who has learned cooking only online? Can you trust your life with a surgeon who has learned surgery online? Maybe you trust a robo or a driverless car, but not a human who has learned his skill online. I believe the advantages of classroom learning and that far outweigh those of online learning. And that is reason enough to say that classroom learning can never be replaced by online learning. While classroom learning lets us make use of all our 5 senses given to us by God and helps us build a rapport and dynamic relationships with other learners and with our teachers and trainers, online learning makes many of the learners become loners. That leads to depression and many other health issues too, due to looking at the screen for a long, long time. And there are statistics to prove that. We don't speak in air. Sitting all day long in front of a screen will make a person not only physically lethargic, but also lead to weight gain. Do you need any statistics for that? There is strain on the eyes, and it has been proved that children lose focus and concentration when they have too much screen time. The classroom tuition fees are less if you see the overall advantage of the classroom learning that you get compared to the online learning. What you get interaction is what leads to motivation, and motivation is what leads to achievement and success in life. Virtual education does provide flexibility and convenience, as you said, but it may be best only for individuals with demanding schedules and responsibilities, and only for students who require alternatives to formal educational arrangements, but it can never replace classroom learning. To conclude, there are some things that need to remain the same, even if it is ages and ages and eras. As time goes on and societies evolve, education is one of them. While there is an argument that online learning allows people to learn at their own pace and time, it is not as valuable as the education obtained from a traditional style classroom. It just does not make sense to pay for online education when you gain much more skill sets and knowledge with traditional style learning. Many people may not be able to attend regular class meetings and may utilize online learning, but this is only as an enhancement, and for a person who is able to choose online or traditional education courses, the decision should be clear. Do I want to develop life skills and learn, or just get a diploma or a degree? Over to you, moderator.
Very much. I hope both the evaluators for affirmative and negative have taken note of all the points given by both the teams. I thank each and every participant in this team. Please give them a big applause. Before I hand over this to the next session, let me confess to those people who don't know much about me. From 1995 to 2011, I have done 14 courses online from US on insurance. I'm a professionally qualified insurance. This could have not been happened if I had gone to US, which was, I think that's my dream. It could not have been possible. But online learning is something different. So please, friends, don't think, this is my view. And also let me tell you, today I'm doing 2 online courses. One from the most famous universities in the world, institute in the world, Indian Institute of Management, Indore, as well as from Harvard, I'm doing my management course. So that is also one of the learning. I would not give any judgment on this, except that I wanted to tell you this is also one of the learning. As I told you, the evaluators have already taken the points. Now, with the session going, I will hand over this session to the
Murali, are you giving the speech?
Person who is going to be taking charge. That is our district director, DTM Wafa Salman, who will be doing the evaluation session. May I request DTM Wafa Salman to take over. Over to you, DTM, district director.
Can we please have the voting?
We need to have the poll for the best debater and the best debating team. Moderator, please carry through.
Why can't I vote?
You can't vote.
Why?
You should.
Why?
The panelists can't vote because you're a part of the group.
Somebody
Hosts and
put
the
you.
panelists.
Somebody put you as a host.
Oh.
Good idea.
Wafa, what you can do is you can actually withdraw the co-host permissions from those who are co-hosts and then give them back the permissions once they have voted.
Okay, no worries. We'll do that. I did.
Thank you, Wafa.
It was unintentionally.
Everyone wants to.
No, no, you tried to take away my one vote.
Ikaji, do you want me to get my children to vote for you?
I'll be ending the poll in the next 5 seconds. Thank you.
Excellent.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Good evening, dear parents, dear.
If you are done with the polling, can we move on to our next segment?
We are actually voting for the best debater now.
We are voting for the best debaters now.
Right.
Closing the poll in the next 5 seconds.
I didn't get it.
You're not a host.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I don't know.
You should have.
Oh, wait.
Oh, if you are a host, you cannot.
Yeah, he's not a host.
What term was that, Toastmaster Quresh, that you learned from DTM Nasima?
We can move on. We are done with the voting.
Super.
Over to DTM Wafa.
Okay. Good evening, fellow debaters. I really enjoyed. It was on fire. Let's give them a big round of applause. I love the way that each team tackled it. We need to learn a little bit about the cross-examination, and that we can make some learning workshop later on about how to cross-examine in a way that makes the other person in the corner by answering yes or no. The evaluation session is very important, and from this session we will learn what are the things we did good and how we can improve, what are the areas of our improvement. And to do that, we have 2 evaluators. But before the 2 evaluators, let me ask the timer, our new member Sham, can you tell me the timing rules for an evaluation?
Oh, yes, please. The time that is allotted for the evaluators is 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will show you the green card. At 2.5 minutes, I will show the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I will show you the red card.
Thank you, Sham. And the speaker, please pin the timer, pin video the timer so you can see them in front of you. Now, our first evaluator is a good friend of mine. He started this club when this club was different name for different reasons. And he's back to us. I'm so proud that he's back. He's gonna evaluate the affirmative team. DTM Noor Muhammad, the floor is yours. He will not have video, audio only, but it's okay. The floor is yours, Noor Muhammad.
Thank you, Superwoman, General Evaluator, Wafa Salman. Before I start, may I request all to mute their microphones? Right, and a small note to the timer, I'll be exceeding the timing. All right, to start off, all right, I'll be going in the sequence in which the debate has proceeded, and I will give you points on how you did, the highlights of what you did well, and also the recommendations. In the recommendations, I'm going to talk about the sources. I'm going to talk about your cross-examination. I'm going to talk about your assumptions, facts, and opinions, which all fall under logical fallacies, and your defense. All right. The highlights of your speech. The first thing is that you have researched your topic well. So you have mentioned your sources throughout your speeches, either in your constructive speeches. And also your major contentions were clearly stated. All right. I would also recommend that, and also you have clearly mentioned the definitions for each terms. Nasima has already mentioned. Now, since it's an advanced club, I'm not going to talk too much about your delivery or your other good things what you have done, but I would focus on how you can improve. Now, coming to the Nasima speech, Nasima has quoted sources for all her statements, all her contentions. In debate, it is very important to state your source. If you don't state your sources, your point is nullified. Whatever argument you're putting forward is nullified. So first thing is, there was all students have different pace of study, and that point was not refuted by the negative team. So that point stands. So children learn at 5 times more speed than the traditional learning. That was also not refuted, and sources were mentioned for both. The retention rate was 60% rate more, and that was also well presented with sources, and that was also not refuted. So 3 points. Less investment in time, and you also mentioned how the Melbourne school has improved, has mentioned in their study 40 to 60% less time. That point also has not been refuted. That point stands. Regarding the environment, that is 90% less carbon dioxide in the air because of online learning. That point also was not refuted. Now, coming to your cross-examination, Nasima, who was cross-examining first? Cross-examination was by, the next speech was, let me check. Alka Kumra. Now, Alka Kumra could not demolish any of your points which were stated. All right. And then we went into the affirmative speech of the second speaker. The second speaker told about bullying. 28% of the people were bullying. The negative team could not frame a question properly to refute that point. Also, another point, the sixth point was about the school shootings. That was also not refuted. Drug and alcohol abuse, 1 in 3 students. For all these points, sources were mentioned. Kudos to all of that. So none of those points were refuted. So you stand at 7 points, 8 points now. So next is the refutation of Riaz. Riaz did not refute Alka's any of the points. Like, for example, touch and feel of the prism, he could not refute. That is, you should frame your cross-examination in such a way that you ask your worthy opponent a question in form of yes or no. If you're able to corner them, just put them in the corner with a yes or no. That is the intent of cross-examination. And also in cross-examination, it's important not to rebut, there is a difference between refute and rebut. You will come to know about it. So Rizha could not frame any question in such a way that he could refute 3 points which Alka put forward. Coming to Alan. Alan did demolish quotes by saying that they are the opinions, not facts of the quotes. So that was well done. But he also failed to frame a question in such a way that he would demolish a point. That were, one is interaction was limited, health issues, and what the students are doing behind the screen, which were put forward by the second negative speaker. So please focus on your framing of the question in the cross-examination. Now, Alan did a good job by presenting massive classes, that is massive number of students in the classes. Now, behind the scenes support by the professors, surge of online platforms, universities started online, and teachers focus on important aspects other than offline. So Alan put forward 4 points, which were not demolished again by the opposition team. So overall, your presentation was good, but you are not able to do well in your cross-examination, I would suggest that you focus on your cross-examination and state your sources clearly. And to summarize, Nasima did a great job in the summary. She did not include any new information in her summary, whereas the other team included a lot of new information in their summary. So it's very important not to include any new information in the summary and to summarize all these points. Like we had 12 points and 12 main arguments which were put forward and was not at all demolished by the opponent team, so that the audience knows that these points stand. So you need to make sure the audience is aware how many points are standing. All right. And also to persuade the audience at the end. It's not just logical appeal by your arguments, but you need to persuade the audience emotionally to take up your point of view. Number, the last point of my evaluation is replace. The word key point is to replace. You need to focus on that word, that online education will replace. Thus, after stating all the arguments, you have to say, hence, online education will be able to replace physical education. All right, that is traditional education. All right, with that, I hand over the podium to the general evaluator. Cannot hear you, Wafa. Cannot hear you, Wafa. You're muted.
Okay, sorry. Thank you, Noor, for that long, elaborated evaluation. Now our second evaluator is our president, TM Prince. He's the champ of evaluation. So let's hear from our president, Prince George. Floor is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Thank you so much. Coming to the evaluation, to the point. What I liked the most about this team was the passion with which they put forward this argument. To be passionate about what you're speaking, and it comes across so naturally, it's something that kudos to the team for the teamwork that came across in that. The second thing I really liked about the team was how the summary was done by the team captain, because it not only included their points, but it also picked up points that were said by the opponents, which they did not agree with. So in summary, when you summarize the whole debate with your opinion on that, it comes across really well when you put it across in a nutshell, which summarizes the whole debate really well. That's good. Now, as a team, again, two things that I think that the team needs to work on is back on the summary. One thing, not to include anything new. There were around two things that were new points that were introduced during the summary. The summary is specifically meant to cover only the debate. So it's just a slight tweak on that, but can be worked on. The second thing is I would like this team to also work on rebuttals. A classic example is during one of the cross examinations of one of the members, Binoy, there was a discussion about a doctor. Would you lie in front of a doctor who's earned an online degree? He was so passionate about the point that he had so much more to speak even after the cross examination. But as soon as his speech started, he moved on with his speech, which was completely based on what he had prepared. Whereas he could have started off by the cross-examination itself. He could have said, my worthy opponent mentioned that he can do this, but would you do that as an audience? Would you believe that a doctor who's earned an online degree can operate your body? So what happens with that is you just mesmerize the audience, and the audience feels that, yes, this point is correct. And then he could have gone on 10 seconds down, gone on with his speech. So just an example, as a team, rebuttal is something, refuting the point. This is something that can be worked on because it gives a heads up when you start speaking. Now coming to quickly on the participants, Alka, the team captain, I really liked your introduction as well as your summary, very strongly done. You had statistics on what you were speaking about, and you also mentioned about all the points that were being covered by the whole team, which is good. You also handle the cross examination really well, because you just cornered your opponent. You said, come to the point, ask your question, and you didn't waste time in the cross examinations. Well done, Alka. One thing is you could have also mentioned the percentage of members dropping in Toastmasters, because you had that argument. Had you mentioned the percentage with credibility of that, it would have added a lot of strength to that argument you had. It was a very strong point that you were talking about. Now coming to Suhan, I think Sohan, you did a fantastic job with what speech you had. You spoke about the screen time, how it affects your eyes, personal interaction, how it helps. So you had a very good speech in place, and you also presented it well. I like the assertiveness you have in the way you speak in debate. It's really important. You cannot come across as someone who can be swallowed. So I like that assertiveness. Maintain that. It's really well done. Again, one thing you can work on is your cross examinations. In one of your examinations in the beginning, I think you were asking questions on bullying, mass murders and things. Sorry, you were talking about bullying, mass murders and things, but you did not ask a question. So the question is where you get the point. That's your brownie point, where you zero in and where you corner your opponent. And that's the question is what matters in your cross examination. Anyways, well done on that. Binoy, passionate and assertive as usual. I like Binoy's assertion. He was very assertive with his points. Handle cross-examination exceptionally well, because the audience was with him during his cross-examinations. Well done on that. Like I did mention about your rebuttal, if you could work on that, it would be fantastic. You also had statistics in place. You spoke about Seattle and other things, and other information was credible. It had source backing up what you were speaking about. So overall, as a team, I think you all did a fantastic job. There's no doubt that you all handled as a team. You all handled the information really well, spoke about it really well, summarized really well, and handled cross-examinations really exceptionally well. So that's about it from my side. I hope you all will just work on those few points that I did mention, and you'll come out fantastic even for the next debate. I wish you all the best. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, a negative team evaluator, Prince. Now I want to ask the report from our timer about how the whole flow of our meeting since we started till now. Can you give me a report? All the session went in the line, when we started, when we ended.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Rafa. We started the meeting at 4 o'clock, and we are in time. And the table topics session was also on time, and everybody who ever participated in the table topics, they all qualified. And the table topic session was closed on time also.
Sure.
For the two table topic session, the debate session, it was on time. And so everybody qualified who were participating in the debates, including the evaluators. Now the time is 5:44. I think we are on time. The time it is utilized properly.
Both evaluators are within the time?
In fact, they exceeded, but they took the permission like when they informed earlier. So in fact,
they did inform. They did not take permission. They did inform.
Yes.
So both evaluators were not qualified, right?
DTM Noor Mohammed, he took 7 minutes, 11 seconds. And Toastmaster Prince George, he took 4 minutes, 40 seconds.
Okay. Prince, Noor, it can be a speech recorded. Anyway.
Yeah, it's a learning opportunity. Evaluation is always a good learning opportunity.
And it's very important.
It was a good evaluation.
So Anwar, we're not going to vote for the best evaluator because both evaluators were out of time. Is that okay?
Good call, Wafa.
Good call, Wafa, and we are with you on that. We would love to evaluate some more if we have time, but let's go ahead.
No. Okay, so now let me give my observation about that meeting. This is our second online meeting, and I'm so happy that the points that we mentioned in our first meeting, it was covered in this meeting. We had several hosts, and each host was controlling something. The meeting started on time regardless. The sessions went on time. The table topics debate was good. The question was for debate, and that's the good part. Two debate teams were well prepared, and they were ready for the battle. The evaluator, they give elaboration of evaluation, and I know because we are now remotely, we need to help more and give more. So the whole session went properly well. All of us took lots of messages and we learned the way. So we are moving forward in the online meetings, debaters. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of you. And the attendance were 36 to 34 sometimes. Very good attendance. And I'm so happy that we are having that attendance. So I enjoyed the meeting. The meeting is going on time. We don't want to let it end not on time. I'll give back the control back to moderator or president. Moderator, end it and give it to the president.
Wafa, I can take over as president just to save time. Is that all right? Can I take over?
I am here.
Okay, so can the president take over for the sake of time, Morley?
Okay, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Morley.
Thank you, Morley.
Over to the president.
Thank you, everyone, for a fantastic experience today. We really enjoyed this debate. Strong points from both the teams. Everything was aggressive, assertive, and to the point. And that's how debates are held. A great example of how things are done in a debate. Before we go ahead with the feedback forms, I would like to just inform people, whoever are in this debate with us here today, that if you would like to take up roles for the next meeting or join the debate club, please feel free to reach out to Anwar. As you can see, he is our club coach and he is our spine, our backbone of this club. So you can reach out to Anwar as well as Toastmaster Gayatri. They would be available in any case if you want to take up any roles or join the club. We're more than happy. Toastmaster Anwar, could you please set out the feedback forms for the attendees of this meeting?
He has already put it in the chat room, chat box.
Great. So there's a feedback form in the chat box. Please feel free to fill that. Now, coming to the interesting part of the meeting, is everyone ready for the results of the meeting today, of this debate? Great. So now that we have come to the final moments of this meeting, I would like to announce the results. Are we ready, Anwar? Are we ready with the results? Anwar? Yes. And okay, can we move to the winners? Anwar? The winner of the table topics, the best table topic speaker of today is Toastmaster Jinu Thomas.
Thank you.
Well done, Jinu. And while you were speaking, I pretty much knew you were going to swallow this this table topic. So well deserved. Well deserved. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. The best evaluate. Are we really having this, Anwar? Okay, very good. So Toastmaster disqualified has won this debate. A round of applause for Toastmaster disqualified. Okay, and what we have been really waiting for, the best debate team of today, the winning team is, drum rolls, Alka.
Team.
Alka Kumra.
This team.
Alka Kumra.
This team.
Alka Kumra.
Hey, Baba, team.
Okay, and the winner is the negative team. Alka Kumra and team. Well done.
Well done. Well done.
Congratulations.
The most happiest person is not Alka, it is only Prince.
Yes.
Prince
No,
is always for you.
No, I was in a tough spot, Mr. Murli, because I was coaching the positive team today.
Okay.
Conflict of interest. Conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest, but I'm glad. I mean, even the positive speaker.
No, he kept up the integrity.
Yes, I did keep up the integrity.
Both of us, not both. Both of us.
I'm glad that it was mine and also I think Binoy's first experience, Suhan's first experience of debating in Toastmasters.
Yeah, great, fantastic. Really, really happy to
My second
see
time
that.
actually.
Okay, mine first time for a full-fledged debate, first time.
Great, Alka. Great. Good job. I mean, I'm really glad.
I have witnessed a lot of debates, yes.
Good stuff. Great. Okay. Now we have an award for the best debater of the day. Are we ready?
Yes.
The best debater of today is, drum rolls, DTM Alka Kumra.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Alka.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Alka.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, wonderful.
Thank you. Well backed by my team. Thank you, team.
Congratulations, Alka. You did a great job.
Congratulations to Alka, Suhan, and Binoy. Great job, all of you. Fantastic job.
Thank you so much.
So this, I don't know how the audience found it easy enough to award the best debater, because I had my picks on a lot of people today. Everyone did really well. So kudos to all of you debating, including the affirmative team. I think you all did a great job. You all put your points across really well. And as Noor also mentioned, you all did a fantastic job today. So good job, all the debaters. A big round of applause for all the debaters today.
Thanks to our mentor, the negative team mentor, DTM Wafa. Thanks.
Yes, she helped us a lot.
We had a practice session yesterday and she gave some wonderful tips.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, DTM Wafa.
And thank you,
DTM Alka
Rick,
Kumra.
for coaching us. Not once, but a couple of times because we were completely blank. Thank you for that late night session. And thank you the entire team.
Even we
Riza,
also had a
Ellen.
late night session here.
Not between me and Prince at all.
Personally, I would like to applaud the
It was great learning
for their
experience.
research. Well researched.
I would like to say one.
Yeah.
With this, I have completed my second path also.
Wow.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Morley.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, quickly.
I will officially
Any guests
give
in
this
the
credit
room?
to LA debaters.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
it
dear
comes to
Murli.
us. Excellent.
Yes, friends, we have guests. Please let the
Yes.
guests first.
Yes. So can we have any guests who would like to share the experience of today's meeting?
Yes, hi, Toastmaster Prince. This is Hanan Haloush.
Hi, Hanan. How are you?
I loved the meeting. I participated before in a debate, but today you really like you made a fire inside me. I want now to debate again. That's why I sent Wafa and Anwar. When is the next time for a debate meeting? Because I want to start preparing myself. Great meeting. I loved the evaluation by Toastmaster Prince and by Toastmaster Noor. Very elaborate, very analytical. I really learned from that. And the debaters were on fire. Everyone was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Hanan, for such positive feedback. And with this feedback, we feel that our task is accomplished. The minute we've accomplished this, I think our job is done. So it's great, fantastic. Thank you so much. Anyone else who's a guest today who would like to speak?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Mehtab Alam. I am from Qatar.
Yes, ma'am.
I am in Doha Bank Toastmaster Club as a club secretary. I have, thank you. I have attended this entire session and it is full with energy, knowledge, and both the team, affirmative and negative, has really done a brilliant job. They spoke logical manner, all the fact and figure, and the delivery was outstanding. They really did a well preparation and they shared the knowledge. It is a very good learning for me. And the evaluation part was really covered a very great way. It is because of the expertise, distinguished Toastmasters and Toastmasters. General evaluation also I saw it was really great. And at the end, I would like to also join the next session of the debates. I really learned a lot, and thank you very much. And I congratulate all the winners and all the participants all the role players for conducting such a great session.
Thank you, Mehta.
Thank you.
Very precious comments. We really appreciate that. Thanks so much. One last comment from someone before we wind up for the day. Anyone else in the audience who would like to share?
Can I?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Okay, I've heard a lot about these elite debaters, and let me tell you how the way Naseema started was excellent.
Please
How
introduce
Alka ma'am countered
sorry.
it. The way Naseema started was excellent, but the way Alka ma'am countered it, I was actually floored. I did not, if I were in Naseema's shoes, I wouldn't have known how to get back. But then how Binoy, really, and how Binoy handled it, how Reda did it, and Alan really exceeded my expectations. So what I can understand with this elite debate team is, debating is, it's unlike the Toastmasters. It helps you think on your feet. I mean, you are faced with situations and you have to come up with these impromptu answers and logical answers, phrase it and put it up. So let me tell you, excellent. And the best part was the icing on the cake was the evaluation. I was actually in a different world. I didn't know it. You all spoke for 7 and 4 minutes respectively. So I think this is equivalent to attending 10 Toastmasters meetings. In fact, this is like a contest, a division contest. I mean, very honest with you, a hell lot of a learning experience. Thank you.
Well said, Gino.
Well said, Gino. Thank you, Gino, for such encouraging feedback. I mean, it's great to have such good feedback from you. And Gino, for the little interaction that I've had with you, believe me, you're made for a debating club. So I think you should consider this as your next step in Toastmasters.
Nice one, Prince. Plugging it now.
So, yeah, I'm the president of any debaters. Yeah, I have to do some promotion. Yeah, come on, yeah.
Toastmaster Prince, President, I have a suggestion. I will take Toastmaster Gino's name for our next debate. That way they can come and they can interact, they can debate more, and they can find their own skills, and you never know.
Yes,
so I've
absolutely.
already noted down Toastmaster Hanan.
Gino, let's team up with each other. Let's debate.
Let's
be in one team.
My favorite speaker, Hanan.
I will put you in the opposite team.
My favorite speaker, Hanan. You know, 2 days.
I have already got.
Next meeting, there will be the debaters.
I have already got an opposing.
Number to send her congratulatory
Friends,
message.
before we close.
So Gayatri, you got.
I got the teams.
Gayatri, you
I
got the teams ready?
Absolutely. I have 2 members. I also have Toastmaster Mehtab. If he would like to be a participant in our debating, if he could just leave a message in the chat, we could contact him. His WhatsApp number, we could definitely.
I'm in touch with him.
All right,
Sure.
we can do that. Then
Great.
I've already
Great.
taken
Yeah,
down
since
names of prospective participants. We'll go ahead.
Since it's online now, I'm sure we can all manage irrespective of where we are located. At least till the situation gets better, I'm sure we can be together. Anyways, to conclude the meeting, thank you everyone for a fantastic meeting. Thank you, Naseema and Alan and Riza for great points, and also for the other team, my negative team whom I evaluated, DTM Alka, Binoy, and who was the last person in the team? Sohan, yes, great job, everyone. It takes some courage to come up here and debate. Takes some courage to prepare, which you all have done a fantastic job. Table topics, great work. General evaluator, out of the world as usual. Nothing more to say. Moderator DTM Murli, great job. Thank you so much for moderating it really well and being firm when it really requires it to be firm. And that's about it from my end. Thanks a lot for a positive meeting. I would like to conclude the meeting. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Can I have a group photo?
We're debating.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. See you.
We would have a group photo. Plus, let us all congratulate our new member for doing his role as a timer. Congratulations.
Yes, I forgot to mention that. The new member who was the timer, Sham Sundar. Sorry, Sham, I forgot to mention that.
No, that's okay. Thank you so much.
Good job, Sham. You kept us under control. In a very polite manner, you kept us under control. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Please have a group photo through this. Wafa, can you ever take a photo?
Murliji, half the guests have already left.
I took several. I put them on the group.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you.
God bless you all. Good day. Take care. Bye.
See you. Bye-bye.